Welcome back to the second half of Hacking Infinity Mortally Bankrupt.
Ah. Okay, so I think we're good to start our intro sequence. For Spook, what we do each time we have an episode is we do an intro sequence where we can do magical things like recap and stuff like that. But we do it in a very proceduralized way. So if you hit the gray button, it'll take you to the home screen where all the intro and outro stuff is, and I get to play this game with you and take a different role on where I get to do bad things and you get to do things that are helpful for you. So there's going to be a button on there that says take your turn. Don't hit that button because it doesn't do anything yet, but it will one day. So just click on the drop down menu and then look at the options and then tell me what option you pick. And then that's how the game will work. And we go around in a circle, and once you've both confessed to, I forget what that sheet says. It says confess to why should the Eldritors watch you or your show. Once you both do that, then we're done with the intro sequence. And then we start with the rest of the game. But there's a whole bunch of tasty other options on there that get you XP and drama and stuff. So, if you'd like me to, I think I'll go first.
All right.
Cool. I am going to... I want to add a twist. This sounds interesting. Adding a twist sounds like great fun. I'm not exactly sure what my twist is. Also, whoever's on the show sheet, stop it because I have to use this because it's my thing. Thank you. So I want to add a twist to this episode. For this episode, I want... So we know from that bargain that we took that night came early. I think the twist is that there's a nightclub in Sugar Square, and they want you to make cake pops and bring them to their seedy nightclub.
Make what again? Cake pop?
Cake pops. Mm-hmm. Are you not familiar with what cake pops are?
Oh, cake pops.
Yep.
So like, yes, okay.
Yeah, they're like the cake balls. Well, if anyone's in chat who doesn't know what cake pops are, they're like pretty much like these balls of cake on a stick, and then it's covered in like, what would you call that? Like it's like some sort of covering
frosting?
that's like
Icing?
frosting,
Yeah.
like, but it's like a little bit harder than frosting. It's like almost like maybe a fondant sort of ish thing. I'm not exactly sure. I should look that
We
up.
need a Dazer. They would know.
Yeah. Dazer, tell us what's the outside covering of the cake pop. Ah, it's chocolate or royal icing. Okay, thank you. You are actually the greatest. Thank you so much.
Yeah, right, you are.
Why am I missing this episode in all caps? And they are so right. We need it. So yeah, there's an illicit nightclub that wants cake pops, and that's the twist that I'm introducing for this episode. Which means I have to make the nightclub a faction, for sure. I'll do that while one of you takes your turn.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna see if this works correctly. Um, One of the XP triggers from our show is doing what's it called? Uh, a promo for wrong thing. It's to throw a successful promotional event. Okay, so it's not just like promoting uh, uh, merch.
Mm. Well, what were you angling for? With that?
Oh, I was gonna go into a thing about how last time we went uh, to this factory fish uh, farm, and then say how while not all uh, the dark parts of that came to light, you can you can avoid it by indulging in a delicious uh, fish flavored soy treat from uh, 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 from non-GMO Farms Incorporated. That
Mhm.
this might sound like I'm like just uh, talking about them for my own benefit because they're a sponsor, but no, no, they uh, they are helping to build a better future through uh, bringing people healthful and nutritious protein in a way that is much closer to the land, lower on the food chain, and sustainable.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is quite right or not, but let me know.
Okay.
I guess I'd like to add a visual to the intro,
Okay.
where I presume in the intro of the show it like pans over the stars. Is that the term for like? Is that the right keyword in this game? The stars.
Yeah.
So there would be like one of each stars, and during Zed's there would be a shot of him throwing up in an alley.
Perfect. So then it's my turn again. It seems like. Um. Oh, you made this very easy for me. So like as you're vomiting into the garbage can, um, that's when um to cover up this disgusting act that nobody from our audience should see, the the footage like gets like that hyper saturated sort of look, and um you're in a dark alley, so you just like disappear into darkness while all the neon like just turns into like this vague shape on the screen of um like neon colors like pink and green and stuff. Um yeah, that's my glitch. That's my turn.
Okay. Oh, and Adazer has a question about can Elder Gods add visuals or is it just bargains?
It's just bargains and questions. Um if you want to say those now and let them sit so that we can take them in just like right after the intro, then great. So Brad, it's your turn.
Okay. So I think that you should watch this particular episode because I I suspect and like I do get a copy of the well I was gonna say that I do get a copy of the script, but of course we're a reality show. We're completely unscripted. But I suspect that uh, you may get a chance to meet my mom, and while she's a total bummer, it's important for you to have a chance to see uh, the the lie beneath the seeming well-meaning uh, nature of people who have embraced uh, the neoliberal worldview. Uh, in this show, I plan to confront that and and show you my friends and audience the a better way forward and break some of those illusions.
That is a loud car.
Yeah.
Cool, Spook. Now it's your turn.
I guess for like Zeds, they're doing the thing where they're like talking to like a producer or something off camera, but you like can't hear what the producer's saying, and so they're just kind of looking up and they're like, "What? Why is you? Well, how the fuck would I know?" All right. The whole thing's clearly a disaster waiting to happen, and I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to prolapse on live television. So things keep going the way we are. You got that to look forward to. Probably gonna eat Wacky's face, like just right off his skull at one point. I'm gonna explode at him soon. If I have to hear any of his keywords again, I don't know. One of us is gonna die. Tune in, I guess, for that. Oh, fuck me. Can I do another one? That was garbage. Oh, right, yeah, it's reality TV. We don't do that. Oh, yeah, okay, well, fuck.
So enjoy your garbage.
Okay, cool. So this gives me another opportunity to explain a mechanic. Also, you've cut me off from doing any more GM shenanigans with this game since you both confessed. You are no fun. There's recap questions to answer. Anyway. Great. So another thing that both of you just did is you were confessing to that question, which means a specific thing in this game. When you confess to a question, you kind of do that breaking the fourth wall thing, which both of you did. And another thing that happens is I get to mark that you spent a confessional from the show sheet. And I'm going to take care of that for both of you. And you clear one stress, both of you. Now, I know that one of you has stress and one of you doesn't, because one of you is a new character and the other person who has played this game before. That is by design. You won't always get to clear stress from that particular confessional.
Oh yeah, this does actually link into a game mechanic I'm interested in. So if I become incredibly stressed, can I actually have a full mental breakdown, become a gibbering wreck, and effectively Zed, the character, is dead?
So are you saying that Zed's dead?
No, I'm saying, is it possible for me to die in that fashion? Is this the kind of game where it always keeps going no matter what, or can it actually be like, no, you have a full mental breakdown and now you're sitting in the corner eating your own feces? Like how there's the sanity meter in certain games, and if that is zero, like an alternate life bar. I'm asking if it works like that.
Oh, yeah. On the star sheet there's that stress bar thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually just the top layer. The top layer is stress. And the more stress you get stressed out. But if you click that dig deeper box, you get chaos. And then you get more numbers to spend on things. But also in that you're entering like a layer of madness and craziness, and you get a chaos mode, which gives you extra powers if you spend more stress or more chaos, and you can do things like transform your body into a swarm of butterflies and just madness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But where does it all end?
I mean, I do feel that was all useful information. I'm not 100% sure on the whole then, but is there an element of health bardom to it? Can I actually perish in this game, or will Zed always be able to scrape on in one form or another?
I think you'll always be able to scrape on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially with me getting rid of harm in this last update.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious is all.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, boss, cheers.
For sure.
And I'm going to go ahead and mark off 1 stress on the other 2.
Okay, cool, great. Then we can start the episode proper. So where are we at? We were at the fish market before, but I think we've probably flashed forward, especially since we have a new person with us and one person's gone. So,
one thing in setting
really
the scene, do we want to take the bargain that there's a big sweets festival, but that means that it's going to be hard to find cake pop supplies?
Yes.
And
I approve of this.
Okay, yeah, I lean towards always taking bargains in this game.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Cool. Zed, are you good with that?
Yeah, it's fine by me, darling. Whatever you like.
Okay, cool. So there's going to be a supply shortage. Cool. So that, as a GM, makes me want to wonder about the Big Sweets Festival and who's running it. Which is maybe a question I'm directing towards both of you. Who's running this other festival that's competing with the nightclub that wants cake pop supplies?
well, okay, I have an immediate idea about who Wacky would think would be running it, but that isn't necessarily who's running it.
Okay.
It's the patriarchy.
Yes, well, Big Sugar, they're like Nestle and Archer Daniels Midland. They seem like they're just innocent providers of food, but they monopolize water resources, and they tend to and they have whole lobbies that try to cover up the damage that processed sugar is doing to our health. But it isn't necessarily them at all. It could be like a evil god thing. It could be entirely innocent. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be entirely innocent, and we're gonna come after them because we think they're not. I don't.
For sure. Well, I definitely made a Big Sugar faction, and they're a hierophant of chaos, which means their impulse is to invent rules and demand strict compliance to those invented rules. I think they're like, they're like a sugar company, for sure they have like silos of raw sugar and things like that. They have a factory. What does this factory do that harms the environment?
Oh, well, in addition to the propaganda part of it, and that they monopolize water, which we actually have sort of a flood of right now, uh, their farms are a monoculture rather than being organic or having or rotating their soil so that it can endure. And then there's the runoff from the Roundup they use, which is poisoning not only their farmers but uh, the local water table. And it may be driving the spiders crazy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, totally. Holy crap. How did I forget about that? Yeah, there's no spiders on the sugar farms. No spiders. I say in all caps in their description. So I just have their name as being Big Sugar right now, but I want to give them like a namey name. Like what's a good last name?
Armitage. That's a great
Armitage,
last
yeah.
name.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I mean, there is the real world Archer Dados Midland.
Midland Sugar.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah. And that's spelled like Midland. Like we are in the middle of a land. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's how the last name is spelled, but
I think
that's how I'm spelling it for this. Yeah. Cool.
It is in fact spelled that way.
Okay, cool. So they're throwing this entire separate like event that I think is maybe just like a local holiday, but they just like throw in all of the money to make like the parades happen. There's like floats and garbage, and food stands and food booths and food trucks and just all of this stuff everywhere. And they've really like they're withholding supplies so that they can throw this giant event. And that means that it's hard to get supplies from them because they've told you months in advance that they have limited supplies during this time and they can't always provide to local businesses because they just overdo it during this time of year.
Yeah, always favoring the big aggregates over the locals, just like them.
Mm-hmm. So where are you guys at right now? Are we cutting right to having to provide for this this nightclub that needs sweet tasties?
Yeah, if you like. I mean, it depends, like, what time of day it is or the context. We can leap right in. I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that we could just redefine the paradigm of what kind of sweets they need.
Well, Okay, but they'd
We could
still be
open up a lot
sweet.
of minds that way, don't you think?
I'm going to do you a favor and ignore that statement. But yeah, no, I mean, as long as the things are sweet, you know, seems pretty, you know, nail on the head.
Well, exactly. I mean, if we just make things if we just provide the way for things to taste sweet, then we are just hitting the nail on the head rather than being creative. What if uh, what if the snacks we provide made people feel sweet?
It's a nightclub. I think they've already had those snacks.
Maybe.
Look,
But
I'm just saying, if we show up with a fucking basket of apples, they'll lynch us. I mean, I could have a go at making some artificial sweetener myself, but I mean, it'll be highly carcinogenic. But you know, I mean, fuck it.
that would be
Stomach
horrible.
cancer's not a
I
bad
mean,
one. You know, it's like top three, maybe. You know, be fine.
probably whatever you made would be less toxic than what a major corporation would produce. But I think that the opportunity here is to if we are going to provide something that's actually sweet tasting, uh, to find an alternative that is better than processed sugar.
I mean, when you speak, it like physically hurts my brain. Like I actually
Well,
feel like a tangible, you know, sharp stabbing pain when I hear you talk like that. You know, it's less the content and more just the tone and delivery. You know.
uh, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I
Okay.
certainly
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
want to uh, contribute to the cultural violence through my voice, but I also have to regard my audience, and uh, I
Is your phone
think
just
that
on this whole time?
yeah, I think that maintaining a some degree of oh fuck, I'm blanking on the term. Uh, oh uh, maintaining some degree of ASMR is important for the flow.
Sorry, ASMA. You've lost me.
Oh, the uh, uh, it's sort of like a guided meditation through like a soft voice sort of thing that was like a
Oh,
uh,
okay. You're saying your
yeah.
cadence is essential for your. Okay, well that's
Part of my well,
look. I
I hate
didn't.
to put in these terms because it's so
Okay,
capitalistic, but it's part of my brand.
okay. I would like. Okay, I'm going to try approach this from your side. I would like to express a need. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. God. Mm, uh, I need you to help me here, so that I don't do things that I'll regret. Okay. So to be honest, most of your idea I tuned out, but let's try and actually be productive here. Okay, we're going to open them up to a new vista of the definition of sweet. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Okay, do you actually have any practical ideas to do with this, or is that are you now done with that, and then I'll just actually work it out? Is this how this relationship works?
Oh, well, so sure, it's a nightclub, so they're bound to have some sort of drugs, but if we uh, if we can provide uh, something that a material that is paradigm breaking, that rather than them going into the the aggression and pardon my French, uh, uh, asshole, uh, uh, asshole proclivities of, say, cocaine, or the insectile gathering behavior of heroin. We we open their minds with oh damn it, what's the oh uh, with drugs that are based off of a T-call structure, or even uh, uh, leaves of the shepherdess, which is a kind of naturally occurring uh, uh, hallucinogen that has a completely different structure from the ones that are usually ingested.
If I could be so bold as to interrupt you, and my deepest apologies, friend. So I'm not a solicitor, but I do believe you are describing some sort of grand felony here. You know, we're talking 6 to 8 years minimum.
But it's in the service of undermining the dominant paradigm. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Look, if I can tell the filth it was all your idea and I had nothing to do with it, fine. But I ain't doing time for you, mate. I ain't doing no time for you.
Okay. Yeah. I would.
And look,
I would
when you
never
plead,
like. I don't. Well, I'd hate to use a term like rat negatively, because rodents are our fellow brothers in life. But I would never rat you out, especially to the man.
Well, look, I am saying that I will rat you out to the man, and that I will not go to prison for you, and that you are describing quite a substantial felony. You're talking about drugging potentially hundreds of people against their will who'll already be on drugs. Then they're doing hallucinations. They're seeing all kinds of stuff they don't know. Someone jumps off a building thinking they can fly. This is all. Look, as I said, I want to work with you here, okay, Wacky. I want to work with you.
You're right. We should give. We should communicate the opportunity we're providing. I wouldn't want to dose people against their will. That would be uncool.
Yes, yeah, or grand felony is another way you might want to phrase it. But look at the progress we're making, isn't this? Oh, isn't this? Well, I mean, why don't we have a mixture then of stuff, you know, for the body and stuff for the mind and stuff for, yeah, we'll have 3 bowls, body, body and soul. You know, we'll just have the carcinogenic artificial sweetener for the body. We'll have your hoogity wooga majuff for the soul, and then for the mind, I don't know, we'll just put some Viagra or something in. We'll get to that.
I feel like we're part way there.
It's not a complete idea, but we got 2 out of 3. That's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, replace Viagra with something. That's just the first. A lot of erect penises. Okay, you know, we're moving past this. We're moving past this. So we got a mind.
So,
well, do you think yours is the mind or the soul? Your hallucinogens. It was a dumb question. It's obviously the soul. What am I? You're obviously not a mind. Okay, so we just need 1 for the mind, and then we're sorted.
Okay. Well, in terms of let's also look at the body part as well. I think maybe we could talk to my friend Mr. Red Jeans. He may have an alternative that that actually tastes sweet but is healthful.
That's like literally the first good idea I've ever heard you say. Like I'm aghast.
Well, you know, out of the mouths of babes sometimes comes
Yeah,
the
oh, you ruined
deepest
it.
wisdom.
You ruined the moment. Oh, God, look, I'm gonna go take some Valium. I'll be like 4.5 minutes. All right, just don't start the revolution while I'm gone.
The revolution is ongoing. People don't always realize that. They think it's like something that's going to come
I'm not in the room.
someday.
I can't hear you.
I'm just
I
imagining.
just hear mumbling, but it still hurts me.
Oh yeah, we've got bargains. You want to take a look at some bargains and see what we're
Yes.
into?
Okay, so hmm. I'm sort of torn on the having people fall into a deep, dark, mellow slumber. Uh, but the two together.
I mean, that also sounds a bit grand felony. Just put it out there. I can see things going wrong with that idea.
Yes.
The sleep might be peaceful, but oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I definitely.
The apothecary seems likely. I mean,
Yeah,
they
that's
can't
like
be worse than you, so. Well, I really didn't I really had this guy planned out, from the first time we're gonna play, and it's such a happy coincidence that I've got my perfect foil there, already. It's
It's so good.
It is.
But yeah, I'm up. I don't know how mechanically taking a bargain works, but I'd be up for taking the apothecary bargain. That sounds fun. I can be in a room with someone who's not wacky.
Okay. And let's consider the deep dark magical slumber, but maybe not grab it just yet.
I mean, once
where
again,
go.
I have no knowledge of this. It was all him, officer. I'm not going to say no, but once again, I'd go to prison for you. I mean, I ain't going to prison for people I like, let alone. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be vicious and toxic. It's just the stabbing pains,
Also, I have a question for Zed.
I'm all ears.
Is Zed trying to start drama with Wacky?
No, but it's just, I mean, he's really trying to. He's trying to get along and be diplomatic, but every word that comes out of his mouth just triggers him. It's just perpetual triggering every moment. It's actually a battle to not physically assault him, and he's not a violent person. But I just want to just put my hands on his face and just squeeze. He hates it. He hates it so much.
It just makes you so upset. Yeah.
Just makes me so upset.
Yeah.
They ride tandem bikes together.
So magical. It's true. So yeah, I am down to have a new apothecary that's opened up with a grand opening sale, but these items they gotta be weird. They've got to be moon, like water bathed in moonlight and stuff like that. That does strange things to you. Sound good? Okay,
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then you have a bargain on the show. Cool.
So,
yeah.
One of the things about bringing progressive action into reality is that it's really easy to get into a paradigm where you just kind of argue and go through process. Process is important, but in the end, it's action that counts. I think that we should uh, go ahead and either head to Mr. Red Jeans or see what other opportunities, what other people we can find to help resolve this issue in town. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mr. Reggins, that's a bit of a you thing. So obviously, I'll go work on the artificial sweetener. You'll go chat to Mr. Reggins. But why don't we both go to the apothecary together?
Okay.
Just
You want to
because
do
I
that
dread the thing.
first?
Yeah, and then we'll part ways, much as it pains me.
Well, even though we'll be pursuing different aspects of it, we'll be working.
If you say that we'll be linked somehow, I swear, don't you fucking dare, don't you fucking dare.
You're right. It's better if it goes unsaid. It's deeper
Yeah,
that way.
I profoundly agree. Let's fucking go. I swear to God.
So yeah, apothecary.
Okay, cool. Yep, we're at the apothecary. I was looking at the name of the owner, and their name is Lyric. Um, they they are. I'm thinking like very like trying to like scientifically validate more like strange alternative homeopathic wares, and you enter their shop, and at first it seems like nobody's there, and you just kind of like putz around for a second in there and take a look at like things on the wall and stuff, and there's like a tripwire that you pull on that pulls like a like one of those like bells that you like tap on like with your hand, just like the jing 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 jing, those sorts of bells. There's like some sort of mechanism that's strung up in here that's a thing. And then all of a sudden there's the sound of like wooden chairs scooting against like wooden floors, and someone in clothes like moving in another room, and then you see Lyric, who's like this very like thin, like pear-shaped person who's I think Lyric has like say like I imagine like a very vivid eye color, like maybe like really cold blue or something. And they just say hi in the super bright voice.
Oh, hello there. My name's Zed. This is Wacky. Welcome to the Sugar Square. Nice to have your shop here and stuff.
Yeah, what do you need?
Hey, good to meet
Hi.
you.
Hi.
I'm Wacky. We're here to find some alternative ingredients for the cake pops tonight. Do you think you could help us?
Yeah, have you stopped by the store yet? There's nothing there.
Well, yeah, we got a bit of a plan. What we're specifically looking for is something that will give people a little bit of a brain boost, like the kind of thing you might sell as a study aid, or something that helps with clarity and focus. Nothing too powerful. Just a nice little like the kind of thing you might sell to a truck driver or a kid doing his studies, that kind of thing.
But actually, we haven't been to the store yet because we're trying to transcend the capitalist paradigm. But it doesn't surprise me that they don't have anything because those just-in-time delivery systems that they have in place are uh, are bound to fall apart in an emergency.
I mean, you realize you're in a shop speaking to a small business owner. You just to be clear on your understanding of the situation. Where I apologize for my
we're doing business
companion. They're.
But I mean,
Anyway,
maybe we could work out a barter. That way, we'd be reinvesting in the community rather than having it externalized as debt.
Okay, or we could give you money, whatever you like. But do you have the kind of thing that we're looking for?
Well, I don't have anything in what would you call it, like packaged or something like that? Like she doesn't have like anything like in like a bag or a box or something like that, but she says I do have something in the other room that I think is something right up your alley, but I'll have to come get it for you, and you might not like it, but here, 1 second. And then she goes back into
It's okay. I think
another
we'd be
room.
up for
You can
trying
kind of
out.
like see in like at like an odd angle towards the like an open door. You can see like there's like some street light coming through a window on the other side. There's and you hear things being pulled off of windowsills, and she comes back through with 2 potted plants of like very flourishing plants with like leaves that are like kind of heart shaped. And I think she says, "These are the first 2. You stay here. I'm going to come back with these and then do a little demonstration." And she makes a couple of trips and brings back like a couple of different plants, and she shows that there's one that's like a very natural sweetener type thing, and there's another one that is what else are you looking for?
An actual sweetener, the
One,
possibly drugs,
yeah.
and then for the mind thing,
That was
what,
like the student or the truck driver. I still reckon I can knock up an artificial sweetener. Once again, highly carcinogenic, but it will do the job.
Mm,
Also, can I have a gander at these plants? See what go on.
yeah. Why don't you roll to figure out what's going on with these plants?
All right,
And
how would I go about that?
So it seems like you want to figure out what's going on with these plants, if there's any like side effects, or if it's really going to do the job, or if it's just going to be crap.
Yeah, or even maybe just try and not even to assess whether it will work, just try and maybe even how it will work, or I want
Yeah, for
data.
sure.
I want data about these plants.
Okay, cool. So you're just consulting your like knowledge and shit like that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at them and be like, oh, what's going on here? Have I seen this? Heard of this? Maybe.
Okay, cool. What sort of facets do you have that you can?
Well, I've seen it all. I have a scientific approach to problems, and I did say I'd done some Valium, so I am only at home in an altered state of mind. That one's a bit thin, not gonna lie, bit of a tenuous one, but I think definitely I've seen it all, and I have a scientific approach to problems are applicable.
Okay.
Don't know about the third one. That's up to you.
Um, yeah, I think like going with the 2 is pretty good. So click on facet dice and go for the 2D choice.
And just to check, does my polarizing personality come into play, or is that only for specific things?
Only for that very last facet on your list that you have
I see. So it's only
that you're good
occult.
deeply on the inside. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I've got 2D selected, and then do I just click action roll?
Then you ask the host for the aesthetic.
What's the aesthetic?
Our host is RPGlory, so you get to decide what our aesthetic is.
Brad, what's the aesthetic?
What am I? Oh, flashy, cinematic, or corrupted?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this might be a flashy thing.
Right. I've selected
Okay, cool.
the flashy drop down.
Okay.
Excellent. And then you ask me for effect.
Adam, could I have an effect, please?
Yes, I think standard. I don't have any qualms one way or another.
Do I get
Do you
any
have
extra dice?
If
Do you
it
wanna
helps,
spend-
I would be totally into helping to figure out the nature of these plans.
Yeah. I just don't stand so close to me when you can stand on the. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to invade your personal space.
Well, you slightly are. You slightly are for me, but it's fine. It's fine with.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Here's
it
the
is
thing.
the best way to attune our vibration.
Here's the thing.
Swear to fucking God.
Here's the thing. Zed doesn't trust you. You can't actually help him because he won't trust you to give him good help.
Okay.
Yeah. But other ways that you can get extra dice are you can spend the bargain dice that you have on your show sheet. You have like 3 of them right now, and you can only hold 4. So if you want to spend them, spend away.
No, I don't care that much. I'm gonna save them for the next one.
Okay, cool.
I push the button.
Okay.
Syntax error.
Okay, cool. Maybe click 0 dice for the extra dice, and then you should be good. You might have to include a goal also. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Great. So you are blocked.
Yeah, that didn't. There's no numbers, but that didn't work out well.
No.
Story of my
So-
fucking life.
What happens is we take a clock forward by 1, we introduce a twist, or the aesthetic gets corrupted. I think one of these plants has something that's not quite right with it. I think one of these plants is actually a gift that Lyric got from another person, and this plant has actually just been sprayed with Roundup. And that's going to make one of us very unhappy, and probably lots of other people very sick.
So what's it been sprayed with? Sorry.
Roundup. It's like a pesticide that's not good for people to ingest.
Oh yes, these are very fine. Oh yes, Wacky, you should try a bit. These will really help you open your third eye. Yeah. No, I'm pulling your leg, mate. These are actually highly toxic. So just like me.
Well, that's
Yeah,
disappointing.
I
I was
feel a
hoping.
spiritual connection to the toxicity of the plants. I'm sorry, that's immature. I shouldn't parrot you, but we need to get out of here. Shit's no bueno.
Well, I do want to support local business. I'm disappointed that what's being offered right now has been tainted. But uh, do you have anything that's actually locally sourced? Did you catch
I'm
that?
sorry, you. Nope.
Oh,
I
okay,
I got I got glitched out.
okay. Um, I essentially said it's a shame about these plants that they're tainted. Do you have anything that's locally sourced?
Okay, cool. Um, I don't think she does. I think that she showed you what she's got, and if so, how do you know that the one plant is um
Oh,
has been sprayed
yeah.
with
Is it
Roundup?
actually that they are tainted, but we don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought I'd recognize the smell with the power of my roll, but now I'm seeing that it's more of a, this is more of a Brad type situation. Okay, okay,
Hmm.
I see.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
see. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still hacking Infinity, guys. Nothing. Well, these plants look to my eye. Yeah, these plants look pretty good, wacky. I gotta say, I was a bit dubious about coming here, but I reckon these all. All right, then. How much for the plants? Oh,
um.
how about this? I'll aggle with you a bit. We're actually not buying these for like personal use. We're buying them for like an event, so we can do some cross promotion, hand out some, cards or flyers or something, and let them know. Oh, like
Yeah.
the mind cakes, we got them at the apothecary.
Okay, fine. I can give you a 5% discount if you're. Sounds good. I own this place, so
Sure.
my rules. Um.
And how much are they?
And she gives you like an amount. I'm going to say like probably like in the range of like. So like, how much do you need?
We need enough for like, I don't know, 100 small doses, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Maybe 50. How many people do you think is going to be there, Wacky?
Oh.
I'm thinking
Well,
like maybe like yeah, like 50 or something like that is
All
probably
right.
like pretty reasonable. It's not a
Okay.
huge
So
club.
we need.
yeah. I think 50 will do it. I mean, why we might.
Well, hang on. We don't
It's
actually
always a
need 50.
balancing act. I mean, you don't want it to. Uh, you don't want anybody to be to go without, but you don't want to waste any either.
Well, no. If there's going to be 50, we need like 17. We need 17 portions.
Okay.
Because it's a third, and we're going with the free.
Sure. Sure. Um,
So yeah, how much for 17 portions?
I don't know an exact
yeah.
amount, but she
Sure.
she tells you one. Especially since money in this game is still like abstract and shit. Um,
So
Well, I
again,
give them
rather
one
than
for
uh,
yeah.
completely falling into that capitalist paradigm, I do have a bunch of uh, promotional products from that I get sent because of my show. I could hook you up with.
Okay, yeah, I could knock down the price more for that.
I'll suck your dick.
And then she's just like, Now I have to figure out if Lyric is the sort of person who's like too vain for that. I'm gonna make a fortune roll to find out. Are sexual favors a form of payment?
Because the show is on. Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it one die to see where we go. Okay, no. Bad.
Well, I
Yeah.
tried. All right, and
Yeah,
then I
exactly.
just chuck over the cash. All right, then there you go. You drive a hard bargain. You really have just haggled it down there, Wacky. Couldn't have done it without you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think maybe we should, maybe not right here, but we should talk about uh, the prevalence of workplace uh, uh, sexual misconduct. Because I mean, this isn't our work, but Lyric is being forced to deal with that, and it's not like she can just uh, walk away from it because it's her place of business. You
Well, but
understand?
what I feel is that you're making a value judgment on the ethics of sex work. I've got the right to trade my
Yeah,
body for currency. You know what? You saying my sex money's no
yeah,
good? Is it?
yeah. No, I get that nuance. It is
Mm-hmm.
your body.
Yeah.
You can do with it uh, what you will, as long as it doesn't impinge uh, on others. And I think it's crossed that line a little bit. But again, I don't want to like uh, to demonize you because it's an ongoing process. We need to
And I like to think that Lyric is just like sitting here, like ping ponging, like really uncomfortable, like conversation, and then they're just like, have this conversation out there. I'm sorry, here, sex money isn't accepted.
Yeah, well, once again, sorry if if I offended your sensibilities, Lyric. Yeah, cheers for the plants. We'll see
Yeah,
about
no, 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 no,
comeuppance.
no.
Oh,
It's
look, Wacky, they weren't
yeah,
offended.
yeah.
Anyway, come on, we'll
Okay,
keep this going
so
outside.
in any case, yeah,
I mean,
I'll hook you up with those promotional products, and I'll also like pull out cash from the trust fund.
yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Come
Wait,
again next time.
Okay, and then when we get outside, I'm like, wait, you've got money?
Yeah.
What? How?
Oh
I thought
well.
you lived off like mayonnaise sandwiches, and
Well, I try to. I don't want to. Uh,
But as in, I thought
live
you've
beyond my
got physical
means
currency.
to artificially stimulate the the uh, the consumer culture, but I do have a small trust fund that helps with
Of course,
some
of
of the
course.
bill.
I'm going to stop swearing to God because it's become very apparent to me that there is not one. Okay, that's great. That's great. That is great. I am happy for you, friend. Okay, great.
I
You
have
want to talk about
argued
my
for
my sexual misconduct some more? Or shall we just go to
yeah,
the next thing?
I have argued for that fund to diversify out of uh, negative, uh, you know, culture and civilization destroying corporations into a green mutual fund, but the lawyers, they're well, I. It's not that all lawyers are bad because our tort system is actually really important, but corporate lawyers and estate lawyers, they're kind of hose bags.
I I have no words. You've stumped me, Wacky. You've done it at last. Oh, great. I mean, so this red jeans fella,
Yeah,
yeah, is he like
he's a good guy,
you two birds of a feather?
sort of. I mean, he really, unfortunately, he really thinks that the means of production should be in the hands of the state, at least transitionally. And I disagree. I think that once the means of production fall into the hands of the state or into a single party, they're not going to let go. It leads to uh, all sorts of negative consequences, like we saw in we've seen in uh, the USSR, where lots of people. I mean, it's not popular on the left
I'm gonna stop you. Look, this whole time I've just been reliving a sort of fantasy in my head where we get married and then I kill you to embezzle your inheritance money. So I didn't actually hear any of that, but I came to the conclusion that it's just not worth it. I just couldn't. It would be a lie, and I don't mind lying for money, but there's just some things I won't do.
Dan,
Look,
you're so
Just like
funny.
as this awkward conversation is happening, do you guys want to take the bargain where there's just like this sudden eclipse that happens?
Okay.
You just there's just like an eclipse.
is it a total eclipse of the heart?
Oh, I mean, it's gonna be a total eclipse.
I'm not. So, how does accepting or not accepting bargains impact the game? Is there like a bargain clock, a bargain counter? What's the deal with bargains, Adam?
When you accept bargains, you get a thing on your show sheet that says bargains. And when you want an extra die, you just say, I'm going to take one of the bargain dice off of the show sheet and then use it on this roll.
Okay, so by accepting bargains which are potentially negative, we're gaining a currency we can use for extra dice.
Yep.
I'm happy to take the eclipse. How do you feel, Brandon?
Sure.
Cool.
So as the eclipse happened, and I just finished the story, and I look up at the eclipse, I'm like, that is not a sign. Statistical improbabilities occur all the time. That is not a sign. We are not getting married. I swear to the God that doesn't exist. We are not fucking getting. Anyway, these red beans are they Fala?
Yeah. I mean, if you're
Are
not
they male
comfortable with
present?
it,
No, that's
I
fine.
won't push because things need to happen in their own time.
Wait, are you saying you like me?
I've always liked you. I think that.
But I mean, like me, not like like reading the newspaper in bed together on a Sunday morning, or just like, oh, it might be nice to,
Well,
romantic.
I think it's something that you know maybe we should explore, but I don't
Wow,
want
you
to.
are more fucked in the head than I am. Jesus Christ! I treat you like shit. You are aware of that.
Well, I do know that uh, there's some negative cultural programming that needs to be broken through before we could like move on. That's why I said that it's something that we should maybe explore rather than pursue immediately.
Okay, I mean, you know that I really look. Oh my God. Let's try and get, because this topic, I mean, when I think of the things I look for in a man, and then I look at you, it's like, it's like a polar, it's like a nightmare. Jesus Christ, I swear to God. I mean, I do sometimes get sexual urges about you, but I think it's more of like a manifest of my hatred, and I more just want to punish you with my penis. But it's very like, choke sexy kind of, watching the life go out in your eyes kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that that impulse is something that uh, we're going to need to delve into and understand before we could move into a sexual relationship just for I don't mean to. I don't want to put you down, but before we could, just for my own safety, I do.
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. You should be concerned about that.
This
Anyway,
one's
look,
direction. This is so good.
I was gonna ask, is this Red Jeans a fella, and is he fit? If he's fit, I'll come. But now, to be honest, it's gotten super cringy and awkward. I just presumed that you were straight. You got that straight guy vibe. I'm sorry. Yeah, I need
Oh,
to leave.
see,
Like,
I don't make these decisions off of people's temporary gender assignment.
okay. Well, obviously, like gender and sexuality are separate.
Sure.
Like, I'm a homosexual man, for example. You see how they're different words.
Yes, yes. So,
Okay, great. And you're an amorphous blob, I believe.
well, I don't care what physical equipment you have, or
Okay.
really, whether you conceive of yourself as male or female. That's not what's
Okay.
important. Uh, it's that deep part of you inside that I can see beneath all the barriers that you put up. And it's
I mean,
beautiful,
I just like
man.
big hard
It's
cocks.
beautiful.
Oh, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Oh god.
So you were asking
Oh.
about Mr. Red Jeans?
Yeah,
And,
but I literally
again,
cannot
I'm
stand
not,
to be in your
even if we
presence
do,
any longer. I just have to.
yeah, even if we do come to a place where we uh, move forward in our relationship, I'm not a jealous person, so I don't
Oh my!
mind
This is a
if
waking
you
nightmare.
enjoy
This is a waking nightmare.
his
This is okay.
robust.
The two of us will never happen. Okay. And if it
Okay,
does,
well,
one of us is
if
gonna
you're
die
not cool
shortly
with it,
after.
I don't want to
In
push.
fact, both of us will, because I'll fucking kill you, then myself. I swear to God, I will murder suicide you if you ever so much as mention, don't send me chocolates on Valentine's. None of it. Fucking none of it. Oh my Lord. Also, you really need to
Okay.
seek therapy, because the fact that you would have these feelings, given how I am towards you, is just indicative of some deep-seated personality flaw. I mean, there's one thing to need approval from others, but to need, to be treated like shit by others, I don't even. I mean, the
Okay,
goth
I
girls
hear
I've
you
dealt with,
loud
I
and
was
clear.
clean,
You're
had
not
to fight.
you're
So,
not
I mean,
ready,
fuck,
and I won't push because that would
don't you
be
dare.
uncool.
Don't you fucking dare. I was sucking dick when you were a wink in your father's eye, mate. Don't you tell me I ain't fucking ready for nothing. Christ almighty. But anyway, I have to look. I need to go eat a lot of pills, like a lot of pills. I'm gonna go work on the artificial sweetener. We got the plants for the other bit. You go see your mans and get your bit. Okay?
Okay, I did
Okay,
want to
great.
answer
Good
your
talk.
question.
Good talk.
He is really fit. I mean, he
Okay,
has
great.
muscles on top of his muscles.
I mean,
he's
to be honest, I don't think I'm ever going to get an erection again in my life. So it's a point now. So yeah, I'm gonna end scene. I'm gonna fade to commercials, if you will, on this, because Jesus Christ, yes, I need a pill sandwich. Thank you, chat. Christ Almighty.
Wow. Okay, let's synthesize some dangerous drug sugar. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So
So
I figure it's the same to as well. I know. Let me actually look and think about. Also, well played, Brad. Well played.
oh, you're amazing.
yeah,
So let's see. So I'm good with my hands. Scientific approach. Can I get the altered state of mind in? Oh yeah, because obviously before doing this, I have a lot of drugs. So that's like
Sure.
3.
Mhm.
Am I good to Yes,
Spend a bargain die because we're full.
Oh yeah, can I throw in a bargain die?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Right,
And
but-
then could I have an aesthetic, please? Brad, because you're the host.
Uh, yes. I think since it's using. Oh yeah, because it'll be cool. Okay, so since this is up close, this is that. This is that one in the middle. So there may be some felt involved.
Yeah.
And then Adam, could I have an effect, please?
I think your effect, since you've gotten around, I think your effect is standard. I'm going to make a clock for you to make enough sugar.
And as well,
Well, no,
just as
I'm going to make like a couple of obstacles here. I'm going to put them as a list in chat.
But no,
First,
we
you
need.
have to.
Yeah, we need the drug part to be extreme.
And as well,
Yeah.
is this artificial sweetener forbidden? Just because I have the forbidden technician thing, and is that can I make this forbidden artificial sweetener?
You probably could if you wanted to take that bargain about the sugar putting people to sleep, because that's like pure eldritch influence right there.
I mean, I am worried about the federales, but it seems like it'll make for good television. So yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
So it just says
back up
take
to
plus
full
one
bargain.
result level. Will that just be done on your end?
That's actually for a different thing. That's for a downtime thing. But you're good.
Okay, well, I'm pushing the button. Beep.
Okay, cool. You do it with a consequence. That's good. So the consequences are I could reduce the effect from standard to limited. I could take a clock forward by 2, and that would be a bad clock. Or I could add a negative facet to your identity. I kind of like that last one because that's very. I've done all of the other ones at Blades before. I've never done this last one. I kind of want to do that last one. Yeah, I'm going to sneak over to your character sheet and I'm going to add a facet to your personality that's like. Sometimes I think you get drug flashbacks. I'm just going to add that to your personality unless you're not okay with it.
No, that sounds great.
Okay, cool. Great, let me add that real quick. I get intense drug flashbacks at random times. Sweet.
Random and amusing times.
Yep. So you're working on this super like extremely sweet sweetener like this. I read in a book one time that there's like some sweeteners that are like 20,000 times as sweet as sugar or some nonsense like that. Yeah. I think we're probably in that territory. Yeah, exactly. So I have a question for Zed. When you're doing the step where you have to test the sugar and maybe taste test the sugar, are you like diluting it in water or are you just like the finger
Oh, the cheeky dab, of course.
Yeah.
I'm an analytical chemist. Of course I do a cheeky dab. It's standard lab practices. Cheeky dab in the gums.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to take anything away from you. So, like, yeah, it's super sweet. It's up to snuff. It's good sugar. Cool. Let's maybe go see Mr. Red Jeans. What does Mr. Red Jeans have? He has like, I imagine that he has like some land to grow things on. Like I'm imagining like he probably has like some sort of greenhouse or something like that. He's more in the country of
Yeah.
the square.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be more of a outdoor farm than a greenhouse. Like it definitely he definitely like has a tractor. Like gotta.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. He has red jeans on, of course, and I think he also wears like a simple. No, he can't. He can't just wear a simple T-shirt. On top of that, he has like this sort of like
Okay.
asymmetrical jacket thing.
Okay.
That. What were you thinking of or going to say?
I was thinking he would be like, uh, just in what are they called? Not suspenders. The
Braces?
Overalls.
overalls. Yes.
Yeah.
Dungarees?
Yeah.
Like probably just overalls, and then the pins are the are like the stars with the hammer and sickle.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, nice. So where are you supposed to meet him at? Are you just supposed to like walk into the farm, just like out into like stepping over like corn and shit, or
Um, I think that's what I do. I'm not sure if that's how I'm supposed to meet him.
yeah, okay, cool. Um, yeah, maybe it's not how you're supposed to meet him. He's like he keeps telling you that he texted you to just meet him in his house, and you can clearly just like get out your phone because like you have your phone like just like at your fingertips the entire time. And there was just no text sent apparently, like not recently enough. Just like there's like casual conversations like when you pull up his name and shit, but like no.
Well, that may have something to do with the collapse of net neutrality, because the various carriers don't always interact properly, because that's again, one of the weaknesses of capitalism is that it's always uh, it's always a competition rather than working together to get the messages through. As a fourth
Yeah.
wall aside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe it's still making its way over there. I'm gonna have to pace
Overalls.
myself a little better if that's the case. Uh, what are you looking for?
Oh, hey, Mr. Red Jeans, it's good to see you. Um, so my my other friend Zed and I are trying to get some supplies together for the party tonight, and apparently, uh, it's sort of a mixed blessing that the store is out of like processed sugar, and unfortunately, uh, Zed is still stuck in the old paradigm. So he mentioned like putting together uh, some sort of uh, carcinogenic uh, processed sugar substitute. I was wondering if maybe you had like some evaporated beet juice or something like that I could use instead.
Yeah, I totally do. I would have to. Now I have beet juice around, but I would need to, and I could evaporate it for you. I've made syrup before. See those trees out there? Those are maple trees, and I have made the
Ah,
sap from those into syrup before. Um,
well, that would
so yeah,
probably
that
be. Uh, that might not be as helpful, but it'd certainly be tasty. It'd be better than like uh, you know processed artificial stuff. I think.
yeah, I do have maple syrup available right now. But if I could get a little bit of your help, then we could. I have beet juice canned,
Well, sure. I mean, even
and I
if
can
we're
pull
going
it
to
out of
go
the.
with the maple today, I'm always happy to help.
Okay, cool. Did we want to flash forward to the part where you're in the kitchen, just like with like super steamy windows, just boiling and boiling and boiling beet juice down
Sure.
into a syrup? Yeah, I've been here before. This has been my real life.
I
Maple
think I'm
syrup.
all like, whoa! I didn't realize it was gonna get so hot. I can, I feel kind of woozy. Maybe a bowl will help.
Haven't you ever been in a sauna before?
Well, my rental units like had a sauna in their home, but I don't know. I was never. It just seemed like a waste uh, of fuel and potable water.
I think it's a how do you say that? Like a I think it's a sacrifice people have to make. I feel like it's worth it because we are pulled so far apart. I mean, my text can't even get to you. I can't like we are just so far apart as a society. I feel like especially with like men and male bonding, we've sort of like lost that over time. I feel like
Totally.
we have
It.
lost that bonding, and I feel like saunas restore that in some people that I've seen.
I can see that.
That
Yeah.
culture is
It it,
dwindling.
it breaks
It's
it it breaks down that paradigm created by the media in which uh, men can't express uh, affection or uh, uh, deep deep bonding with each other without it being sexual.
exactly, exactly, and he's just like got he's like staring into like the swirling like immense steam mass arising from like the beats. And he's just like getting mesmerized in that. And yeah, he'll
Okay,
totally like
so yeah, I want to
shoot the shit
uh,
with you over.
yeah. Well, I definitely like want to join in with the like the mesmerism and like just feel the moment and see if there's like something in the proverbial tea leaves to be learned here.
Mm-hmm. Um. Oh, cool. So you're trying to like tell the future off of the the Steam swirls?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Tell the
Let's roll to
future
read the
or
future.
something about the present. It doesn't matter which.
Yeah. You already used your specialty to have an uncanny um intuition about Johanna, and because our game's in sort of a funky place right now, your specialty hasn't refreshed yet because we're not in downtime yet.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, um, let's do a roll to find something out about the future. Is there anything specific that you wanted to know, or just general stuff about a specific thing, or
Uh, let me see. Uh, yeah, I want to know how to uh, uh, I want to know if there's a way to make sure that the party is totally cool and not ruined by the establishment.
cool?
Like it can go crazy and get out of control. I don't have a problem with that. But
Yeah,
if there's a
you
way to
don't care.
prevent
Yeah,
the
exactly.
cops shutting it down, that's what I want.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah. So that's your role. And what facets can you add to this?
Okay. Uh, well, I'm good at seeing things from a new paradigm. Uh, I am used to everything being easy. I don't know if that's a negative or a positive.
You get to pick.
Okay.
If you make it work against you, you get -1 die, but your show gets drama.
Okay. Uh, let's go with the drama. Uh,
Okay, cool.
so a positive and negative. Um, uh, and
Wait,
I
I added the intense drug flashback thing on the wrong sheet. Sorry, not you. Let's go to Zed
okay.
and add that over
Uh,
there.
Hello.
There we go.
and
Perfect.
I
Okay.
think being fixed in my beliefs might help here. It's sort of a will thing. I like.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, and I don't know. I guess I am living in a dream might actually be helpful here because I'm dreaming a positive future.
Sure thing. Okay, so what's your total that you've got for
Okay.
that?
So in total, I think that's plus 2 dice from facets.
That's what I'm remembering. I'm gonna add um that you got an extra drama thingamajig. Cool. Now you have two. Two out
Okay.
of eight.
Okay. And I need
One
an
moment.
aesthetic. Spook.
Um,
1 second.
I. Oh,
Well, we can figure out the aesthetic. Well,
I think it was going to be degraded.
what, corrupted.
Yes, that's the keyword. Yes, corrupted. The it's going to get a bit.
All right.
Well, that's a thing to come back to. Mhm.
uh, yeah. running through a hallway. When you come to a abrupt stop. Anyway, what is
What's
the
happened?
what is the
I
effect?
think I think your effect is standard. I feel like it's not a normal place to get intuitions from, but you are also a woo who gets intuitions from strange places. So I have no particular
Okay.
feelings either way.
And I will happily spend a
A bargain die to
spend a
make room for
bargain
more
die,
bargains.
and I'll also
Yeah.
take the bargain that I might go out in the process and be late for the making being causing me to be fashionably late for the party.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to untick that last box and retick it.
Okay.
Cool.
You can only spend one
Yep, you can
bargain
only
die?
spend one at a time.
Okay.
You can hoard several, but you can only spend one on a given roll at a time.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, should go well. You're rolling 3 dice.
Ha!
You do it with a consequence. Oh wait, let me scroll down. You do it with extreme effect, but it is not clear how or why. Okay, that's cool. That's because the aesthetic is corrupted, and that's what happens on a crit. Yeah.
Interesting.
So instead of your effect being standard, it's extreme. But we don't know why you figure out what's happening here. So instead of that, we add a recap question to our list on the show sheet because we're not sure why what's happening does happen. But you definitely get weird. So I think you start getting like glimpses of the future that turn into vivid visualizations that you never like. The visualizations start to become your reality, and what goes from there is you are like at the nightclub, and you see that all of the cops are busy keeping order at the sugar festival parade thing with all the, because like there might be like seedy stuff going on there that people aren't looking at, and maybe they want extra eyes to keep everything normal. Like there's like a lot of like open air cash registers and stuff, so like it's like maybe a place for thieves and stuff. Yeah. So all of the cops are over there, but you never come out of your vision of the future. You're just kind of like there now. Zed, are you already with the cake pops, or is there more to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just been working with the cake pops. Obviously, I guess the rest of my time would just be after I make the what you call it, my ones. Then I've got to take the plants and find a way to insert the plant that we bought from the alchemist into the cake pops. So I'm also making those, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But yes, I'm ready to just say I've done all the prep and actually like fade to the actual event itself.
Yeah. Do you want to do a flashback to say that you've done the prep and just like spend one stress to have the flashback that just like all the mise en place is just done for you?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll mark off a stress.
Okay, cool. And then let's let's skip to the actual like making of the cake pops. So you've got to make like good cake pops, yeah? Yeah, of course. Let's roll for that.
So I'm thinking I can just put in. Well, I'm pretty sure I can put in good with my hands and
For sure.
Scientific approach. Can I get altered state of mind in, as they are still mind-altering cake pops?
How are you thinking scientific approach works here? Because you're
Just that
no
I
longer.
have. Go ahead.
I'm not thinking you're like any longer working on like brewing like
Sure, but even say
sugar
like
substances.
like a recipe for baking a cake is still, you know, a scientific method. There's an order and a precise way and precise amounts and stuff. So, yeah, I'd think it goes in. But if you disagree,
I think it does go in because I used to be a big cooking nerd, and yeah, baking's definitely a science. So I think that makes total sense.
I'm going to push the button then.
Okay, cool.
I do it apparently.
You do it.
I just did. Do I just succeed?
Huzzah!
Is this?
Yep.
Did I just do a thing and it worked? Oh my god! Oh, my little heart.
I mean, Wacky's nowhere to be seen.
That's true.
Such a flake.
So you just got all the cake pops done without him. I think Neve is like in the background, like making like blown sugar houses and stuff like that. But the cake pops are like mostly all your work, except like maybe you get some help with like the royal icing or something like that.
Sure.
From
I
Neve,
think
but yeah.
just as a side note, I feel that Zed wears one of those really cringy, inappropriate aprons. I don't have like a full picture in my mind of what it is, but he's got some. It's like some silly novelty apron that's got like boobs on it, or just something, just some stupid apron.
Yeah, exactly.
Just as a bit of fluff, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you've got like several pans of cake pops ready to go. How are you carrying them over to the nightclub? How do you transport that shit?
Well, a lot of Tupperware. You know, you put the cake pops in Tupperware, and then you put the Tupperware in like a cardboard box, and then no, I'll get a fucking taxi or something.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Taxi away to the nightclub. I think the roads might be blocked because there's like this huge spectacular festival going on. So like there's this sort of situation where like you kind of like get part of the way there and you have to get dropped off at one point. And then you get somebody like the taxi driver is just like, okay, if you go down that way, I can't go down that way, but you can go down that way, and I'm just going to go down Beat Street, and then I'm going to go down Fuller, and then I'm going to go back around, and I need you to be on the other side by this time. And they're just like trying to coordinate like this thing where you go through the parade for a bit, and then they can pick you up on the other side and then take you to the nightclub because this road is just blocked.
Cool. As Zed's like going through the crowd of people, like, you know, with the big box, he's like, sorry, coming through, excuse me. Sorry, medical doctor. Sorry, PhD coming through, medical emergency. Sorry, hi there. Hi, medical doctor. Please, personal space, personal space. Oh my god, it's happening. It's happening again. I'm getting this. It's fine. It's fine. Push through it. Okay.
Yeah. Suddenly things start to look like corn dogs that are just covered in caramel for some reason, and there's just this like miscellaneous carnival food that all starts to blend together, and yeah.
Oh god, that poor dog looks good. No, don't give in, Zed. You're strong.
Yeah.
You're strong. You can do this. Come on. Don't think about it.
And there's like on the other side, since this road's blocked off, like the taxi that you were in before, or like the Uber or whatever, is like parked sideways in both lanes, and they're just waiting for you on the other side, and you're able to like get back in there and then like drive off to the nightclub. Where do you find Wacky? Or Wacky, where are you found?
Yeah, I think that second one's a better question.
Yeah. I think maybe on like a one of the trips from the nightclub proper to the like the van or whatnot you're getting the supplies out of. I'm in the parking lot. I think lying down like somewhere in a really dangerous fashion, like it's a miracle somebody hasn't like run over me accidentally. Staring up at the stars.
Which also seem to be swirling, just like the steam in the
like as soon as you approach, you can see that like my eyes are the size of
spiders
and dinner plates, and the darkness in the pupil isn't pure. There's like some weird swirling to it.
Well, where's your fucking cake pops?
Oh, well, we.
Okay. Yeah, this will be good. Hang on. I like put the box down and like, make a big show of like sort of sitting up. All right, I'm ready. Go on.
We did work on them. We've got some some really delicious beet-derived sugar for the pops, so that it doesn't have to be carcinogenic.
Yeah, but where?
Okay. You are aware that we're like outside the club. It's like starting in like 20 minutes. I've got the cake pops. These are all the cake pops that I made. If you've made 0 cake pops, just I had suspected as much, but just to clarify our understanding.
Well, I did go talk to Mr. Reggie.
Okay, because you see,
but my texts with him often don't go through.
Yeah.
Again, the whole loss of net neutrality thing.
All right.
So.
Okay,
so he I think that he should show up any time with the cake pops, but I can't be sure. I could try sending him a message now and see, but it might not go through.
You just said, yeah, exactly. Look, he's not coming with the cake pops. Okay, I'm going to break this harsh truth to you. Okay, there just are not enough cake pops now, but that's fine.
Well, I don't know. It might come as like a second wave or a 5th column of cake pops.
Words are lost.
Jesus Christ.
I've been doing cocaine, MDMA.
No.
I've got Valium in me, and I still did my job. Maybe you don't like the idea of capitalism because you're incapable of performing the simplest tasks and therefore would die of starvation. Is it possibly that at all that explains your banal hatred of civilization and progress? Jesus almighty God.
I don't have a
strangle
problem
me while I come.
Civilization itself. It's just the direction it's going. And, I actually haven't
Look, you know what?
indulged in any drugs
Carry the
today. I
cake.
am high on life.
Okay, that's how you. Well, then how did you not fucking do anything? I thought you just got stoned and passed out or something. Breathe, breathe.
Well,
I'm counting to 10. Don't fucking talk. Okay, okay.
okay.
Look, you
So,
just carry the box.
I do have some good news.
Oh, okay, okay. I might have judged you too harshly. I'm listening.
So, I don't think that the pigs are gonna show up. They're they think that there's a lot of seedy stuff going on at the sugar convention, and you know what? Far as I'm concerned, there is.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, not like the stealing from the tills. Like that's just if someone has a need to redistribute wealth to themselves, it's it's not the best way of doing.
Embezzlement.
Yeah, it's not the best way of doing it. But as long as if it serves for everybody to meet their needs, then I don't think it should be policed. Police are just there to protect the the 1%. Really, they're
Well, I
thugs
mean,
of
no,
the
not
one
not to
percent.
not to point how you frequently contradict yourself, but you are aware that under your own series of language that money is not technically a need.
Well,
You know, people need
not in and
security
of
and food.
itself. It's just
Yeah.
a token for the exchange of goods and services. And
Uh huh. Uh
unfortunately, the
huh.
way it's set up right now is debt based rather than community based. But
Sure. You
given
know a
the
lot about
the
that after all,
but
wouldn't
people
you?
stuck within the current paradigm still need to eat, and you know some of them know that they can just go to Mr. Red Jeans and he will feed them because he believes he is woke, but many of them don't know that, and
I mean,
his
look, I
farm is
feel
way at
if
the
I
edge
can
of
if I can
town.
please
So
please do that. If I please just please stop you there. I believe we are
okay,
redefining counterproductive at the moment. So
okay,
can you
so
just
you
pick
need
up the
me to
fucking
help
bar?
carry this stuff in, right?
Oh no, no! I would like you to pick up this stuff and carry it in. I
Okay.
need for you to just cease.
Well, I mean, even if I died, I don't think I would cease.
Okay,
You're into science, right? So you know
sure.
that energy can't be created or destroyed. It just
Uh
changes
huh.
form.
Sure. Uh
So,
huh.
uh, and this is, and I'll do this while like helping to carry stuff in. Like,
Sure. Well, as we're walking, yeah. All right. Uh huh. No, no,
so,
with your legs, not your back. Don't pick it up like
oh
that. Your legs.
yeah, I wouldn't want to. I mean, as much as I'm into uh, uh, having the species continue, I wouldn't want to give birth to a baby hernia. Anyway,
I actually felt the part of my brain die there. I actually, there was lectures I attended that just died. Just there's
well,
novels that will never be
you know
finished.
what
There,
they say. Uh,
Jesus.
it
Hang
seems
on, I
like
need more drugs.
killing brain cells would close off possibilities, but it feels really good. And contrary to popular belief, new brain cells do actually grow. That people used to believe that you only had a certain amount and they never came back, but it's not true.
Oh,
I'm just also imagining this conversation happening with like we're just hearing like the you and them part of the conversation, but there's also like in between there's like, hey, look, it's part of the catering team, and then like there's this very excited like short lady who's like full of like pep and vigor and just like pulling you like through the club and just like where you need to go, and you're just still like bantering about like yeah.
Well, I mean, I will take a moment to acknowledge her with my permagrin.
Yeah.
I guess when we get to the club, I want to make it seem that I'm not with him, and this is nothing to do with me. You know, he's got the box, he's got the stuff. I'm like, I'm not. This is not me.
Welcome back.
Hi. I've been frozen in ice.
Okay. Did you have audio?
For some of it.
Yeah, I was just saying, as we enter the club, as it's like, as Wacky is carrying the box, basically, as we go in, it will be like, you know, Wacky like turns around and goes, and the other thing about, and then and I'm like not there, and you know, I'm trying to seem as if I'm not, as if I'm not with him or responsible for these cakes in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a new bargain on the table that's kind of interesting.
Okay, cool.
Let me look at chat.
Okay. Also, you are full of bargains right now, so you would need to
contrive to roll for something.
Yeah.
Could I try to roll?
Maybe you're like serving people like cake pops and stuff,
mm-hmm.
like carrying cake pops around and just like giving them to people around the club. Because I feel like we're like maybe mid like nightclub time right now. Like there's the DJ like talking about like the weird surprise eclipse and how we're living in such like fleeting times, and there's like a pause, and then he's just like, "For life to the fullest, because one day there might be an eclipse that who knows what's going to happen." And they just seem like very like overwhelmed and over the top about there just being like an eclipse that was not talked about in like their news feed on social media or anything. Yeah, because there's just an eclipse. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose there's there may be something involved in trying to make sure that everybody knows which pops are special pops, so that they're because there's probably a lot of room for unfortunate mishaps there.
Yeah. So is it like one of you is carrying around and serving the one of one kind and the one of the other, or?
No, I've disappeared and trying to distance myself from this disaster as much as possible.
Yeah. So unfortunately for Wacky, as soon as you disappear, Mr. Red Jeans shows up in his overalls with the rest of the cake pops.
Aha!
Made from beet syrup, and he's just like ready to help, and he's I think he came over like on his tractor. He just like took the 20-mile-per-hour slow thing and just like it was close enough, and he was just like he just got here on his tractor.
Yeah, and I'll be all, "Hey, Mr. Red Jeans, I knew I could count on you."
Mm-hmm.
I bet the.
I did. Oh. Go ahead.
I bet these cake pops are the best and helpful too.
I actually took a couple of them, and he's like, there's like clearly like, because he like did some of this himself. Seems like probably. I mean, I don't know if like a portion of your consciousness just got stuck behind and like there's some weird ghost version of you that can only make cake pops that stayed around in his kitchen and made cake pops with him, or Because like what actually happened is you just like sort of hallucinated that you were in the thing and then you were and then he showed up and maybe you're still hallucinating, but it seems like you're here because
'Cause, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, that that's what I'm experiencing in the moment.
yeah.
So,
So
you
yeah, there
know,
are two
most
cake
people,
pops that are missing
uh,
because there's like lines and stuff. Yeah.
that's a thing. Most people think that the there's some people think that the the future is like a straight line, like it's set, but there's multiple possibilities, and then in physics, uh, that those possibilities collapse into a distributed now. But what most people really don't realize is that it spreads out again into the past. So there's multiple possible histories. And, and I think that extended indeterminism is what's happening right now. Except that, you know, anytime you talk about what's right now, you're collapsing those possibilities into a single point again. Pretty wild, huh?
And yeah, he's just like, yeah, totally. Also, and he like bites into one of the cake pops and he's just like, well, this is my third one. But look, they accidentally ended up being red velvet because these are chocolate, and that beet syrup is just so unimaginably. It'll dye anything. Make sure you. I'm not sure how either of us didn't get like the most stained shirts imaginable. Um,
I guess the whole
yeah,
party will go red.
yeah, and he's like got this big smiley face, and he's just like red blood teeth. Yeah, for sure. Um, so like we get like the like the like Matrix style like there's Dracula by Rob Zombie playing as we like pan through the club scene and um we just got like people eating cake pops here and there. Um Mr. Red Jeans is just like not doing a great job at like um circulating through the club. I think he's just like kind of picked a spot sort of by accident and he's just sticking there and like kind of having people come to him so that there are people missing some in the center.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try and help out with that because I want to make sure that that everybody gets some and that you know the people who don't want to be dosed aren't dosed.
Okay, cool.
I
Um,
mean, sure, it's important to shatter paradigms, but uh, you know, subjecting people to drugs against their will isn't cool.
yeah, let's make a roll out of that to see if you can like pull in the right people by just being a good a like server person. Yeah. What facets are you bringing in?
Uh, let's see. Oh, well, I have an important message that needs an important platform, and here is an opportunity to
Yeah.
spread that.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm still fixed in my belief. My beliefs. I you know propagating them. Uh, and I think that being a down to earth social media mogul helps uh, in both of those because people know me, so that it's and they know that I am in fact down to earth. That you can that I can be approached. I won't be all oh I'm a Twitch or YouTube star and won't deign to interact. No, No, I like to talk with everybody, and people know that. So
Okay, cool.
okay. So those three, I think. Uh,
Are you
and
invoking any against yourself for drama, or are you good? Are you good?
yeah, sure, sure. It's probably slightly complicated by that I'm living in a dream and like I'm
Okay,
in sort of
sure.
a dream state or high of life or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the aesthetic?
Uh, I I am. Let me take a look at the show again. I'm on the wrong page. Oh, we've got to be like, because it's like we have to be in a world of oversaturated colors. I feel like our aesthetic is corrupted.
Always okay.
Mhm.
Uh, effect
At
standard.
at this point, like we don't even see wacky on screen. We just see like flashes of color and like a slight gradient that we can tell that it's um like club lights sort of that are coming from somewhere. But otherwise, like we can't see anyone. And it's like a scene where you would focus on people, like we can hear you like serving people, and like we can hear people saying, wow, thanks, that's super cool, and I'm glad. I've been trying to get off of like um refined sugar and shit like that. And yeah, you get people like thanking you, but like
Cool.
there's you don't see anyone. All of you see is like flashing lights on the screen. Yeah, so the aesthetic is corrupted, and your effect is great.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay. And I will spend another bargain die.
Cool.
Uh,
I will mark that you spent it.
okay. And here we go. With a consequence.
Beautiful. Consequences. Tick a clock forward by 3. Remove a facet of the star's identity or weird dangers manifest. Hmm. See, we've got an octopus in the bay. We've got that clock. But I might want to make weird dangers manifest too.
Seems like an appropriate milieu for weird dangers to manifest.
Hmm. Um, I think.
Well, okay. So we've gone pretty far from the Sesame Street theme this episode. Um,
Yeah.
it might be interesting to have some sort of thing with like a count uh show up and be and have some sort of negative interaction with all the bloody teeth.
Yeah. Exactly. Um,
I mean that's a little bit vague, but
yeah.
there's elements there that I don't know.
At the same time, we're approaching uh, 7
Time,
o'clock my time.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I can think about it for a week or so, and then we can come back, and then we can find out what happens next time.
Okay, yeah. Just
We
make a
also
note
have
for
to
something
do an
horrible to
outro.
happen with the.
Yeah, we don't just stop this
and we
game anymore. We actually have to do an outro.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you go back to that gray button, there's an outro sequence. Um, I actually don't have anything on this list that I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure why those are still on that list. Um, I guess I can ask recap questions. But if you want to claim XP from your XP trigger for being a star, then you can do so.
I mean,
me see.
does the constant bickering get it for us, or I guess I'm unsure as to what the trigger is.
It's not on there. Why isn't it on there?
Well, we definitely made an
Adam?
event. We definitely made an event happen.
Yes, but that's for the show. This is supposed to be for the star, and I need
Oh,
to
I see. Okay.
tell you what that is because it's in the sheet itself. It's like in the code, but for some reason it's not showing up. So for the tool first, when you brute force a problem, mark trope XP. Did you ever brute force a problem?
No, I don't feel like I did.
Okay. Then I'm going to scroll down to the woo. When you convert skeptics, mark trope XP. Did you ever convert a skeptic?
Let me see. Oh, I never updated that. I don't think I really did on screen, unfortunately. Like that last bit. I may have been that might have been in there, but I don't think it's explicit enough to be worth the
Okay, cool.
And Zed just wasn't listening. I tried to convince him.
Exactly. Let me see. Okay, cool. Then let's ask recap questions and then call it done once we've all asked a recap question. I want to know next time what happens who's going to get in trouble for looking like they have blood on their teeth. So that's my recap question. Who is going to get in trouble for blood teeth?
Okay. So those are just more questions that get added. We don't answer them right now, or
right.
Okay.
And then we'll answer them in some future intro sequence.
Okay.
I know. Do we have to generate one of these as well, or is it just?
Yeah, both of you have to. Yeah.
Let's look at the existing recap question. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. We didn't really get an opportunity to answer any recap questions in the intro, which is a problem that I will figure out how to fix.
I guess mine would be like, what's going on at the Big Sugar Rally? Or
Okay, cool.
or are the rumors about the Big Sugar Rally true? Maybe something like that.
Ooh. And I want to know what the rumors are. I might add that as like a.
There was, that there was Salacious and.
Right.
Picnics going on.
What Wacky was saying. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I want to know. What is the nature of the cops? Because I don't think that they're normal cops. I think that they're reality show, maybe puppet cops. But yeah.
Okay, that's our show.
Strange and supernatural nature. Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of things to add for next time. Lots of little tweaks to do. That's me. I've been Adam. I am Dark Lavender Void on Places. This is my game.
Very cool. Spook, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, my name's Spook. Shout out to Bronski Beat, Small Town Boy. That was the starting point for this character. So, yeah, Bronski Beat, Small Town Boy. That's my shout out. Big love, everyone. Keep doing you and stay strong, friends. Oh, and 2018 is going to be your year, internet. Okay, I know it's you've got it. 2018 is going to be your year. I believe in you.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm gonna avoid doing. Try very hard to avoid doing wacky while doing the outro. Let me see. I'm Brad, aka RPGlory. You can find me at RPGlory or Twitch TV.com/RPGlory or Mixer.com/RPGlory or YouTube/D/RPGlory for archives. I'll be back tomorrow for I believe we're going to be doing some D&D. That'll be starting at 4 p.m. Pacific. I think that the Wednesday thing is going to be going on hiatus, or is going to be continuing hiatus for a while, but I'm not certain about that. I'm also working on a game called The Eschaton, which is a transhumanist science fiction Powered by the Apocalypse game. If anybody wants to try that out, you can. I'd be happy to send that along. You can give me a shout on Twitter at RPGlory DOTCOM. Or I guess through Twitch, they had so much system, that sort of thing. Anyway, Adam, thank you so much.
Eschaton is really good. Yeah.
I really love where Mortally Bankrupt is going. I think it's really, really awesome.
I think so too. Yeah.
And thank you so much for running.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blast. And
it's a blast to perfect this game with y'all.
And Spook, that was amazing. I loved the way we played against each other.
It takes
it's just to be madness.
It takes two to tango. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. It takes two to tango.
All right, yeah.
Well, with 3, we could do some weird eldritch tango.
There's the 2 dancers and the infinite space between and all around.
Yeah.
Oh, but sorry, I said I wasn't going to do wacky. So
lose your concentration for a second.
I know. No, he just seeps right in. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.